Yeah, massive. I think the situation we're in, well, where we are on the table, isn't where we need to be, or by any stretch. And I think as well as that, coming off Sunday, was it Ross County? I think it was Sunday. That but heartbreaking. I'll probably use. I wasn't there, but still, for the boys that put in the hard work, and for me played an amazing away performance on a crappy pitch and everything, and to then turn around and show character and play the way we did in the first half, and then obviously should have made it a lot easier once again for ourselves, but then show the fight and the desire that maybe we haven't in moments to come away with a win. And yeah, huge win to start the new year.
Because the atmosphere around the place would have been a lot different if those chances had gone in for Motherwell, then given what happened at Cammy.
Yeah, and rightly so, because I think the atmosphere in the change room would have been pretty bad as well. To be honest, I think I would have lost my head. But you have tough moments as when you come here, and I can understand the noise around the place at the moment. Obviously, I don't read any of that stuff, but the people aren't happy with how we are. We're not as players. We know when you come here, as long as I've been here, my fourth season, I've been sitting in third for majority of the time. So to be where we are is not good enough, and pressure and noise and things like that. And as a player, you're going to come under scrutiny and you're going to feel a bit of pressure, but you got to be a man and stand up. And I've said it before. And when you go into these games and you feel a pressure, it's a privilege. We're footballers, and if you don't have that, then when you're a kid, you dream to be in this position of being a professional footballer, and then to have pressure on you and expectations is something you got to. Obviously, it's hard. There's no denying that, and we've found it hard, and you can feel anxious and everything, but you got to just be a man and stand up and take it on board and put on performances like that.
Do you get fed up as well, Cammy, in a situation like this when after games you've got? I've heard you guys saying after a few games where there's been inquests in the dressing room and there's been stern words and blank exchanges, blah blah blah. You must get fed up being in that situation, game after game.
Yeah, no, it's horrible, to be honest, because you see the boys day in day out, and they become your brothers, and you really you want to win games, and then everyone's happy and everything feels good, but when things don't go well, and we concede 2 goals in 2 minutes, it's not good enough, and there's expectations on you, and you have expectations of yourself to. If we see out that game and win 2-0 or 2-1 even, and then we come here and we win again, you start to get that feel good factor, and you build confidence. Confidence is massive, I think. We've got some young players, and that confidence to do something maybe you wouldn't if you weren't as confident is massive. But yeah, you get sick of going. If we draw that game there, going in there, and Gaffer would have gone mental, players would have gone. It's horrible, isn't it? Because you don't want to do that. You don't want to be angry. I don't like being upset, but. To come off, Craig Gordon, like he does, steps up and does his job. We know we've got to be better in both boxes. We can't be giving away cheap opportunities like that when we've had total control of the game. And then the first half, and then maybe the first 20, 30 minutes of the second half, we know we've got to score a couple more goals, and then the game becomes a lot easier. And we know we've got to do that. But nonetheless, we've started the new year with a win, so it's a positive.
See, you didn't travel up to Ross County?
No, I didn't travel. I obviously trained, but I was suspended, unfortunately. But I was sitting at home, and I was really happy until the last 2 minutes, and then I don't think I spoke for about 24 hours because I was so upset. But so I was so gutted for the boys, because I said to them when they got back, when we went back into training, I think since I've been here, conditions, the weather, the pitch, the way the game went, it was probably the most professional and well organised and everything. We played the game perfectly. Probably the best away performance I've seen us play since I've been here. And I was so, you had boys like Boise and Grantney who, once again today, were standouts for us, and they haven't played this season. They step. But that's what being a football. That's what you got to do. You got to bide your time. It's horrible that they haven't played, and they come in, they do unreal. Jamesy is 17-year-old position we're in, digging us out and scoring a couple of goals, and then we find out we should have had a penalty which he would have scored, and I know he would have scored, got his hat trick. It's not nice, but. no, I didn't go, and I'm just so happy that we've come here and
How
turned.
did you address that afterwards? Because as you're saying, the performance was largely positive, and then there's like that sort of disaster towards the end. So how do you sort of address something like that as a squad in the days after?
I think, like I said, I wasn't there, but I think I can speak on behalf of the boys in saying that usually, like say we conceded today, we would have come in and gone mental. But I think that would have been confusion, like what the hell just happened, kind of like that would have been the feeling, because I'm sure you were the same, watching on, thinking what just actually happened. So I'm sure there were words, and the gaffer obviously spoke to us and just told us once again it's not okay. But the thing that, like, over this Christmas period, you just got games and games and games. So obviously you address it when we go back in on the Monday, and then you talk about it. But then it's about, okay, in 2-3 days' time we've got New Year's, and then we've got Motherwell, and you just got to. And it's horrible because to be honest, you're still going into this game thinking, I can't believe, how did that happen? You have moments where you think, I went to sleep that night of that boy tapping the ball in. I just honestly couldn't believe it. But you've just got to turn it around, and like I say, stand up. And I feel like we did that today.
Did you have friends, family over from Australia?
Yeah. I had a few of my mates. Obviously, my neighbour growing up. He's over here with his partner and their mates. So they came to the game, and then one of my good mates that I was playing with growing up, and one of his mates who I'm also good mates with, they're doing a trip around the UK watching football games in a van. So they came up to watch me play, and yeah, obviously having my family ain't here, so having people that you've grown up with and in the stands is really nice. So gave them a big hug and just seen them, and yeah, super special, and hopefully they can come on Sunday and we can get another win.
So what other games are you going to then? You said
Nah, so my mate my two mates that are doing the trip in the van, they were at Sunderland versus Sheffield United last night, and then they came down to watch us today, and I think Liverpool play Man United tomorrow. Is that right? I think they're driving up in Manchester. I think they're driving to Manchester to watch that. They've been all over. It's pretty cool. And then obviously my neighbour, when I was growing up, he's a big football fan, but he's been on a trip with his partner, and they've been travelling around. But obviously to make their effort they made to come watch me play is super nice.
So what's your mates' names? The ones that you kind of, what are your mates?
Robbie and Jeremy are the ones in the van, and then Geordie is the one. And then obviously his partner and mates, Geordie, is my neighbour that grew up, and he's actually the reason that I got into football. I was a rugby man growing up. My dad and my family are rugby, as you probably can tell by the way I play. But Geordie was my neighbour, and his dad, Reese. They obviously turned me over to football, and so having him, come and see me from where I probably was when I didn't even play, and big reason to why I am here is because of him. So yeah, super cool.